Who are you?
I'm Doctor Who. Are you looking at?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Doctor Who parodies. For this list, we've gathered the funniest, cleverest, and most popular parodies centered on the BBC sci-fi stalwart, Doctor Who.
We can't go into the time machine right now.
But they're going to kill us all!
All right, just 1 second.
Number 10, the first parody. It's a Square World. Originally broadcast on New Year's Eve in 1963, just a few weeks after the first ever series of Doctor Who debuted, we start with the show's first major parody, starring Clive Dunn as the now famous time traveller.
Whom have I the honour of addressing? Oh, Dr. Fothengown. Doctor Who? No, not Doctor Who.
It's a Square World was one of the BBC's leading comedy shows in the early 60s, and this sketch was one of their most ambitious efforts.
It's got enough power to take the TV centre up into orbit. What are you going to do? Have another peppermint.
With Dunn dressed akin to William Hartnell's first Doctor, but going by a different name, he relays a series of suspect ramblings on rocket science before brilliantly blasting the Beeb into outer space.
Well, good night, until we meet again. That is, if we ever meet again.
Number 9, The Doctor Games. Brad Hansen. While crossover clips can sometimes fall flat, this one strikes a balmy balance between two film and TV juggernauts.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8 and a half or something.
Released just in time for the Who 50th anniversary and for the Hunger Games Catching Fire, here we see Doctors 1 through 12 in a brutal battle to the death.
Wait, violence has never been the answer. We have to work together.
Dibs on the laser gun.
There's creative kills aplenty here, but we've a particular soft spot for 4's Jelly Baby slingshot and 5's freshly sharpened celery. It's a battle royale around the big blue box, and only one can survive. Who's your money on?
With this celery.
Number 8, Behind the Scenes, The Corridor Sketch. A spoof set on the first day of filming for the series' first episode, Nicholas Briggs takes centre stage as a bewildered reporter trying to understand what all the fuss is about.
But it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
It's just like a British Dr. Kildare, only much more real.
Playing on the show's reputation for chaotic scenes in corridors, Briggs interviews showrunners, cast members, set designers, and channel directors, but the premise gets more confusing with every conversation.
I was in the BBC canteen one day when I was inspired.
Not by this, but by the Quatermass spaceship. You
Today, Briggs is best known for voicing the Daleks, Cybermen, and some of the Doctor's other enemies, but this was where his Who journey first began.
So Horace, how long do you think this new series will last?
Oh, I'd give it about 26 years, 1 week and 6 days.
Number 7, Facing Thanos, The Lenny Henry Show.
It seems to me that the TARDIS is elucidating involuntary stabilization.
You mean?
It's knackered.
Released towards the end of the original series run, Lenny Henry gets his hands on Who Next for a playful poke at the show with a political twist at the end. Henry plays the Doctor in Tom Baker-esque attire as he and Perry Brown encounter England in the year 2010.
There's only one thing to do now, but I can't quite remember what it is.
Run up and down lots of corridors!
That was the one!
Unemployment is rife and the Cybermen walk the streets, but even the Doctor is a little alarmed when he meets their leader.
She's a woman! Mrs. Davros!
The most ruthless woman in the universe. Thanos!
Thatchos?
A robot with a wig on, it's Margaret Thatcher as you've never seen her before. Number 6, The Web of Caves, Doctor Who Night. To a sketch centered on comedians Mark Gatiss and David Walliams, and one of the 3 skits featured during Doctor Who Night, a 1999 BBC Two celebration of all things Who.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'm bad.
You're bad?
Yes.
What do you want me to do, Beth?
Here we see Walliams play a somewhat starstruck alien antagonist who's desperate to deal with the Doctor, but is struggling to think of an original approach.
What for?
Power.
Power over what?
The sea.
Gatiss plays the famed Gallifreyan with glorious nonchalance, sidestepping every supposed threat that Walliams can muster.
When's all this likely to happen?
Soon, Time Lord.
Well, when?
Monday.
You know it's a bank holiday.
Of course, since this, both actors have appeared in the show for real. Number 5, the Eurostar, Deadringers. As lifelong Doctor Who fan, impressionist John Colshaw crammed quite a few references into the TV and radio series Deadringers.
You later. That's weird.
But nothing beats his Tom Baker. Channeling the Fourth Doctor's famously expressive elocutions, Colshaw features the character in a series of hidden camera gags, including a cringy attempt at speed dating.
Would you like to travel with me?
What about New Zealand?
Well, I'd much rather visit Skaro, home planet of the Daleks.
His timey-wimey trip on the Eurostar is today's pick, however, thanks to the sheer confusion the stunt causes.
You've been telling these people that you're the train guard, but you are really the master.
Number 4, Super Cafe, Who's a Hero? How it should have ended.
You know, being a Time Lord and all, you'd think I'd maybe have timed that a little better.
The folks at How It Should Have Ended have tackled Who on various occasions, but this DC crossover is the best of the bunch. The short sees Matt Smith's Doctor kill some time with Batman and Superman by discussing his character's hero credentials.
Ah yes, Krypton. Sorry about that. Fixed point in time. I couldn't interfere. Very difficult to explain. Convenient.
Sporting a well-rounded English accent and an acute awareness of his own stereotypes, this Doctor skirts seriously close to the real thing, despite Batman's intense emotional pressure.
You abandoned them in America. Is he always like this?
Baby! Number 3, the Salarian Extras, French and Saunders. To another late 80s sketch, this time with Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders playing Salarian guards at the Doctor's trial.
Knock knock, who's there? Doctor? Doctor Who? Dr. Kildare!
Only, they're not very good at it. First, there's a gossipy get-together between takes, and then they prove entirely unable to follow simple stage directions.
You're supposed to stop him!
It's French and Saunders at their finest, but the skit wasn't actually aired as part of the award-winning sketch show.
You're supposed to stop me.
We know that, Mr. Time Lord. We know, everyone knows that.
Thankfully, it was eventually included as a bonus scene for future VHS and DVD releases. Number 2, the Fiveish Doctors reboot. Released in line with the 50th anniversary celebrations in 2013, this half-hour one-off debuted directly after the Day of the Doctor.
Mr. Davison, are you going to be featured in the 50th anniversary?
Written and directed by Peter Davison, aka the 5th Doctor, it also features Colin Baker, the 6th Doctor, and Sylvester McCoy, the 7th, as well as a small part for Paul McGann, number 8, and a host of Who-related cameos.
Not that I care at all, but you haven't heard from the BBC about that Doctor Who special, have you? Nothing at all.
The story? Well, it sees Davison, Baker, and McCoy go to desperate lengths to get involved in the anniversary episode, and it's a must-see for Whovians everywhere.
Hey guys! Let's do it! Let's rock and roll!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Curse of Fatal Death, Comic Relief. A classic spoof and still the best, The Curse of Fatal Death was originally released as a 4-part series of shorts in aid of comic relief.
Planet of the Bottom Burbers. So what happened to them?
They discovered fire.
However, the story proved popular enough to warrant its own VHS release, earning an unconventional spot in Who history. Rowan Atkinson's Doctor plays most screen time, alongside Julia Sawalha, before a series of regenerations results in Richard E. Grant, Jim Broadbent, and Hugh Grant appearing as temporary TARDIS keepers.
Oh dear, now look at that. I've gone and used up 3 whole bodies in just under a minute, all because I forgot to unplug first. That really was terribly silly of me.
Then there's Joanna Lumley for an ab-fab finish. It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's our winner.
Tell me, why do they call you the Master?
I'll explain later.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.